This video is going to be cyclical, and that's going to start with me invading the same guy and end with me invading the same guy. And hopefully, maybe by the end, I'll have learned something. This video is all about re-invasions, invading people you've already invaded once before, and their phantoms as well. This is kind of a product of the game's life cycle stretching on longer than it was intended to. You start to invade a lot of the same people if you invade in the same area for like an hour or so. So that's what this video is all about. Anyways, I fuck up this invasion because I panic roll instead of timing my roll. And I feel like a complete idiot for that. But we'll see these guys again. So we've invaded a co-op group here. They're just playing through the level, you know, good old-fashioned co-opers. This footage was probably taken shortly after a sale, so there's a lot of co-op groups going on. Anyways, get the Phantom with the plunging attack. I had initially gone for the host, but the Phantom's a little better, because once I get him eliminated, then it'll just be me and the host, which is infinitely less dangerous. And by infinitely, I mean a good amount, but not dangerous, I guess. That's a terrible way of putting it. Anyways, we're going to do our usual thing with the scythe here. We're just going to slice him up a little bit. We consider swapping to a different weapon in case this guy is good. I need to make an escape, but he's not, and I kill him in 2 hits. Before I do my little bow and obnoxiously edge walk away, I just want to talk a little bit about co-op groups like this. I feel like this was like the intention behind the invasion mechanic, where like you and your buddy, or maybe you and your buddies, are playing through the game, and you know you encounter a single player who's a hindrance to you. You know, it's not impossible to defeat him. You're not the parry lords and the guys who are like just super invaders who just destroy every gate they run into. I feel is like less the intention, because it's supposed to be more of a hindrance instead of like an unstoppable wall that like you and your party just can't get past. It's like stuff like the Earthhill Knight that's located a couple times across the map, and enemies like that, or like the demons in the the catacombs and Lost Izalith, whatever. They're supposed to be a powerful enemy that you struggle against but overcome, but you also can just die to, and that's what I feel like an invader is supposed to be. So these kind of invasions I feel are invading at its purest, if you want to call it that. However, one thing that kind of pisses me off are people's names. This last party was named Dink the Boy. This party is named, yeah, woohoo. Alright. The thing is, I know this is going to be a party because if there's a jet as a homo, there has to be a jet. There has to be a butt of that immature, unfunny joke. So we're going to, you know, slap on the silver cat ring and drop down on them. I also like you know, invading parties like this because you can kind of tell from the outset like that it's always a group due to like how bright the white and gold phantoms are. I kind of hope they change that in future iterations of these games that have multiplayer. By these games I mean FromSoft games, because I don't know, I don't like looking, you know, bright yellow or bright white, or especially as an invader when you're dyed bright red. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, and as a result I end up using the untrue dark ring a lot just so I look like a normal player. Start. Anyways, ranting about colors aside, I'm going to get away from these guys because they have 2 high damaging weapons that will stun me into oblivion. I'm going to get down on this tree root here. I'm going to dare them to follow me. They also kind of have to follow me because this is the only way down. And I'm going to think about just disappearing. I'm going to look back and see that they're also coming down. So if I want to survive this fall, I have to put the silver cat ring back on. And this is what I mean by playing level. By coming down here, I've already won. I win because of this, because the host does not have the silver cat ring. In fact, most people playing through this game don't have the silver cat ring, and so they're not going to survive falls like that. So the very next invasion is that jet. Poor Jet has to be, you know, not only does he have to guide his stupid friend through the game, who still thinks it's funny to call people a homo, but you know, now he has to get killed by the exact same guy he got killed by in the last invasion. So we're gonna run over and do that. But you gotta feel for Jet. You know, I'm sure this guy's like trying to show his friends like, oh, this is a really cool game called Dark Souls. You do all this really cool stuff in it. And his friend's like, haha, yeah, I'm gonna call you a homosexual with my player's character name. Man, you gotta feel for Jet. Oh well. So I got a question for you. if you know there's multiplayer in a game, and there's PvP in a game, why would you leave your character AFK in one spot? Get fucked, Joshy boy. Now, please don't think I have any like malice towards this particular character. I just know someone in my life that I refer to as Joshy boy, who really deserves to be told to go get fucked. So that's for you, Joshy boy. This is a prime example of why I wear the obscuring ring, because that guy didn't know how close I was, and that I was just able to see him, use the white branch or whatever. So I'm gonna pretend like I don't see him. He actually sets up a pretty good ambush, but is turned the wrong way, so it doesn't really work out. I'm just gonna demonstrate here why I like the scythe against heavy weapons, because I'm just always out of the range, and I always can do good damage with them, and they're much quicker than those heavy weapons. So. Big fan of this weapon, I've said it a million times, but just wanted to highlight that again. So this is another phenomena of re-invasions, is where someone will cosplay as another character from some source of media, maybe a TV show or something like that, and then they'll pop a dried finger and fight everyone who comes through there. And I like the idea, but just like stuff like this is a little obnoxious. But whatever, we'll fight this person. So let's see who they're cosplaying as. Right after we get Horner Ring backstabbed, and it is Arya Stark. Is that a good Arya Stark cosplay? I'm not sure. I would say it's pretty decent, as good as you can get. But anyways, in Arya Stark fashion, they're using some tricky tactics, although they are terrible at parrying. I like that they're using the mail breaker, which is like a short rapier. I get that they're trying to go for the needle look of it. However, their crappy parry skills combined with the fact that this is a lightning infused rapier, don't really do this cosplay justice, I think. I'm gonna hit them with a R2 mix-up, and then roll catch them right after they come out of it. Also gonna deliver my judgment upon this cosplay here, and I deem it as bad. You suck. Feel bad about yourself. You're the worst player. The worst Arya Stark I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Get the fuck out of here. But of course, I re-invade the same guy. And I'm happy to fight people like this. I'm going to use this long, drawn-out duel to kind of explain how I think this guy could have beat me. Which is, by using something that isn't the same exact setup. For one, the scythe is pretty hard to parry. The timing on it is just weird. The phantom range on it is pretty huge, and the speed of it is also a lot quicker than people expect. So it ends up being really hard to parry. I think he gets me once, but I still hit him with the weapon, so he doesn't even get to take the riposte. Or riposte, or whatever people pronounce it differently. Whatever. This guy's using the mail breaker, which is a fine weapon against most things. But I'm never gonna let you come in close. I'm always gonna be backing away and trying to use the range of the scythe on you when I'm fighting. So the mail breaker is not really gonna do him any favors. You can also roll into me more. That's kind of the scythe's biggest weakness, is people rolling into it. It doesn't have any coverage horizontally right around the body like straight swords do. All of the scythe's coverage is like out in front. And it's a big area of coverage. It just doesn't do anything for anyone who wants to roll through or underneath that. The scythe is fast, but it's not fast enough to trade with a dagger, so that would have worked a lot better here. You love to see the bleed auxiliary get procced. That's always nice to see. I'm trying to finish him off here. Basically, he knows this fight is done. I've only healed once. I'm going to heal again. Right here, he used that moment to go into his inventory and put on Wave Blue. Right as he comes out of that, Blue shows up. And see, that's how I knew this cosplay was absolute trash. Because, Arya's supposed to be a lone wolf. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting on Way of the Blue? How dare you besmirch the lore that George R.R. Martin has beautifully written for Arya Stark, that definitely has an ending that's totally going to make sense someday when that book comes out. Anyways, they make a bad trade, and Arya Stark is dead. Here's the weapon I killed you with. Buy my sword. Great gesture, Murky Hand Scythe, great weapon. What more can you ask for? So we end up invading this world of this guy who looks very cold because he's just wearing the master set, in a very snowy place. Not looking like he has enough clothes on for this kind of weather. I was trying to think why a player might do something like that. and I can only think of two reasons. One is that he dumped all of his other points into Dex, and because his weapons only do physical damage, it seems. So he could have just pumped everything into Dex and health and no points in Vigor, and then hope that he's going to do a shitload of damage with the Sellsword Twin Blades, which he was. He was doing quite a lot of damage with those. The other is perhaps he was running a Fling's Ring build, which could also work for this situation. But it doesn't really matter, because at a certain point, and kind of an odd moment in the fight, he decides to just pull the plug and disappears. But if you pull the plug, you don't actually get taken off the invasion priority list. You still remain where you were before, which is like just very likely to get invaded, especially if there's not a lot of other people in that area. And since I was just invading this like one area for like an hour, he was the very next person I invade. This guy didn't seem to really want to fight me. He kind of, he was hiding at the beginning, and kind of just seems like he wants to run away here. So I'm gonna do some obnoxious shit like waggle my weapon a lot, and he is gonna get me back for that by reaction parrying me with a medium shield. Well done. However, medium shields aren't really meant to be like, reaction parry. That was a good parry right there, and I kind of learned my lesson to respect that a little bit more. But medium shields you have to be pretty goddamn precise if you're going to parry someone with a medium shield. And so he's going to try that many more times in this fight to try to replicate that one parry that he got, which at the time I was like, oh shit, that's a skilled parry. But upon watching this clip a couple more times, you're like, it seemed like he just kind of, like, I made it as easy as possible for him to parry me, and so that's what happened. So it doesn't really work out for him for pretty much the rest of the fight. So we're going to go back and forth for a little bit longer. I'm just going to fast forward it because it's not that interesting. He's doing a good job of not swinging into hyper armor. But, as we saw before, this guy really doesn't want to lose. He's going to try his parry again. Going to get beat up pretty bad about it. And then, what do you expect? Yep. So that guy DC'd on us. Who cares? We're back in that same host world from the very first clip where I panic rolled instead of timing my rolls and I died. I'm here to take my anger out about that. I'm here to get some closure, complete the cycle. Perfectly roll catch people with a very, very long greatsword. God, I love this weapon. But I'm mad. I'm mad because you killed me earlier. I'm mad because there's no Elden Ring news, and I'm pretty upset about that. Okay, just give us something, anything at all, maybe some new pictures. I'd be happy with that. Oh look, a Pyromancer cast Iron Flesh. I wonder if they're gonna cast Secret Flame right after that. Oh yeah, what a surprise. I'm gonna switch to a fast weapon so I can hit you and you can never hit me, because you can't close the gap. All you can do is cast spells, because you've cast a spell that makes you heavy, and so they die, but not before doing a ton of damage to me. Good lord. Alright, but here we go. I'm gonna do a plunging attack with the dagger. Of course it misses. Okay, but here we go. This one's for all the marbles, right? Here we go. I've surgically removed 2 of your phantoms. It's just you and me. I got my lore-friendly character using a lore-friendly scythe that makes sense to be used in the painted world. I'm fucking pumped. I'm everyone's favorite merchant from Dark Souls 2. I'm Gavlan. I'm wheeling. I'm dealing. I'm here to kill you. This is gonna be awesome. Okay, didn't space that too great, but that's okay. You're almost dead. I got you right where I want you. Oh my god, did you hit me with a rolling charged R2? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking god, I am such a goddamn awful player. Who taught this man wearing chainmail armor and fucking the thrall head to use a rolling charged R2? What the hell is this? What game am I even playing?